Set on the desert planet Arrakis, Dune is the story of the boy Paul Atreides, heir to a noble family tasked with ruling an inhospitable world where the only thing of value is the spice, a drug capable of extending life and enhancing consciousness. During Paul and his family's settlement of the wasteland, we undergo hardship after hardship that sets Paul on a journey that is greater than anyone could ever hope to imagine or understand. Dune, Dune, Dune. The highest selling and arguably the most influential sci-fi book of all time, written by Frank Herbert, published in 1965. I did it. I read it. So proud of myself. Hold the applause.
You mustn't speak!
I know, I'm amazing. True intellect over here. So yeah, I don't know why I decided to read this. It worked out great because the movie, from recording this, the second part of the movie is coming out next week. So, perfect timing. So yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about what I thought. Kind of the usual format as most of these. Kind of the good, somewhat bad, what I struggled with. Let's be honest, almost everyone struggles with this. That is what it is. But as far as, I'm going to talk about the plot first. Overall, I want to say it's a pretty simple core.
I've been having dreams about Arrakis. I don't know what it means.
The core of the plot's pretty simple. The Messiah, okay? This book, Dune, for me, is the ultimate, the one story. And once again, you know, Tolkien, Lord of the Rings, to fantasy, Dune, to sci-fi, it's compared a lot. It's kind of that same tier. I mean, this is the one of sci-fi. And yeah. The first thing I'm going to say is if you're looking for something super tech heavy, that kind of sci-fi things, this probably will not be it. This is a social sci-fi book, guys, okay? This is political strife, just heavy on the politics and interpersonal relationships on a wasteland of a world. This is going to be a book, you've heard it before, I'm sure. It is difficult to get through, okay? It just is. It's one of those that's just super hard to read sometimes. And oh look, I got another edition, by the way. It's one of those that's really hard to get through. It gets compared a lot to reading a textbook, which, you know, we're going to speak on the writing a little bit. The writing for me was stale, okay? I don't think it aged amazingly, unless I'm just not getting the meanings behind why he wrote it in that particular style. It's just very robotic sometimes. But now that I've delved a bit more into it, it kind of makes sense. You know, so a lot of these characters, all of them, are in these greater houses, so to speak, within the political hierarchy they have in this book. So I feel like if you're wondering, if you're reading through right now and you wonder why it's stale, that might be why as well. That's kind of my theory of it. It makes sense that they're very, very strict with their words, very controlled. So that might be it. But yeah, it's still hard. The first 50 or so pages of this book I've read about 4 times. And then, I don't know why, I finally pushed through. And yeah, it worked. It worked for me for a good bit of the book. And then around like towards the middle of the book, everything kind of changes with Paul and his relationships with everyone else, given stuff that happens. And it gets a bit jarring sometimes when it's such a change, or it's a change on how people view him in a bit. Which, I mean, you probably already know, kind of, obviously, he's the one. Okay, whatever. I just don't know if that was done amazingly right in the beginning. The first 20 or so pages after that shift in the tone, it's a bit weird. I just don't like how they portrayed Paul's mom during that period. But you'll see that part. That was the only thing I really struggled with. After that, keep rolling and rolling and rolling. So yeah, I am on the side that enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it. Don't know if I could say I love the book itself, if that makes sense. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Since finishing this book, I have moved on to Messiah, finished it, and now I am on Children of Dune, which that video will come later. I'm going to do like a whole Up to God Emperor, just my complete breakdown, because if you love digging and just like figuring out everything in a universe, this is going to be your thing. The book itself, I don't think you can get everything from just reading it. There's so much subtext and so much undertone to every single paragraph. It is so layered. I mean, a 5-second interaction will have 3 pages worth of thoughts. By the way, watch the movie first. I will say that. I think it helps a lot, and you're not really going to get spoiled. Unless you're like one of those, I do get it, read the book first, yada yada. But the movie really helps you visualize everything. And you can come back to the book and understand the background of why they did this thing. It might explain a few things. But yeah, back to that. I basically went on a whole binge. I listened to like 10 hours of podcasts. Check out Gam Jabbar podcast. They did a great job of illustrating everything. It just gave me more info to go off of. And of course, I started watching all of I think it's Quinn's Ideas. I watched all those, and I think the world is just so dense and intricate, and it just makes you lost in it. I just love figuring out what everything means, given his writing, and what it could mean. You have to love theory. It's like I just said, you're not going to get everything from just reading it, and that's fine if you don't like that kind of thing. I completely get it, but I really enjoyed that. So that's why I say I don't necessarily think the book itself is something I love. I mean, of course, gave way to all this, everything else, all these theories. But yeah, I mean, this book is without a doubt, as I said before, I think it's the most influential sci-fi book. I mean, of course, Star Wars took heavy inspiration from this as well. I just think it's branched off into so many other forms. So many things have come from this. So many ideas have just been birthed from this story, this complicated and dense story. So yeah, if you're struggling with it, it'll be okay. I think you should push through. And if you don't, that's fine as well. And if you do make it through, it's also like a lot of people, it gets a bad rap. Oh, I finished Dune. It's not that complicated. You're not some intellectual that figure out everything. It's not that much to figure out the core of it. It's just more if you really want to get into the overall theory of things. And it's also a big mood read. Like I said, I've read it like 4 times, and it took me, that 5th time to finally break through. So maybe you're just not in the mood. If you're not enjoying it, that's fine. Maybe put it down. I don't want you to push yourself through it if you really aren't enjoying it. But yeah, I mean, and back to the influence of this, it touches on obviously religion, politics, the environment, how important it is to take care of everything around you and to take care of the relationships within your family, friends, and how sometimes we look up to people that we shouldn't. You shouldn't look up to any just one person. And this truly does a great job of illustrating that. And like I said, I'll do a full video later touching on like Messiah and the ones after that. But I will say a quick thing. If you love this, if you've read only this, I think you should continue on to Messiah if you care more about the overall Dune universe. If you just want to end off with this, or you're like, okay, fine, I got this little part of Paul's story, that's fine, because Messiah changes everything. I'll be honest with you, but it also gives more depth to the world, and it just kind of sheds the light way more on the impact that came from this. But you might not enjoy it as much. We'll get to that later. All right, Dune. Yeah, I think those are kind of my thoughts. I could probably ramble a good bit more just because how much I've looked into this. But yeah, I mean, once again, main things, social sci-fi, look out for that. It is a bit stale. It's fine. Get through it. Just, it's all about the journey. And I hate when people say that, and I hate myself saying it, but it's so true. Nothing is more accurate than to describe this book than it's about the journey. When you finish this book and look back, and you're like, you just sit down, you think about it, and you're like, wow, okay, yes, I got you. And then you get lost in a rabbit hole and spend 10 to 20 hours learning more and more. That's the good stuff. That's the good stuff. And I love that. I love getting lost in a world. I'm just that type of person. So if you aren't, still give it a try, obviously, but just be prepared that it will be a bit difficult, a bit dense, a bit slow. It's simple as that. Yeah, that's I think that's pretty much all my thoughts there. I am really happy that I did finally do this. So happy. And also I feel like it will make me appreciate everything and all the other sci-fi I read and watch from this, just to know kind of where it might have taken inspiration from, because it probably was Dune. So yeah, if you have any more juicy tidbits to give me about Dune, please let me know. I want all the information, all the deep dives, all the secret meanings. And if you watch the movie, let me know what you thought of that as well. I did really enjoy it. Obviously, they did a great job. Maybe I'll do a review of just the movie. I'm a little bit late, but whatever. You'll watch it, please. But yeah, that's my full thoughts. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if you'd like me to do that full video of books 1 to 4, just more of a deep dive type of video. But yeah, that's Dune by Frank Herbert. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. The mystery of life isn't a problem to solve, but a reality to experience.